Hello, good afternoon. It's Windy News coming to you live from the News Hub here at the University of Education, Winneba. Coming up, former President Bawumia to speak on democracy, governance, and political integrity in Nigeria. President Mahama to launch Education Review Conference in February. University of Education, Winneba holds interdenominational and Thanksgiving service. Quality Assurance Directorate UEW hosts workshop for newly appointed faculty officers. And in business, government T-bill auction records 47.5% oversubscription despite rising interest rate. And on the foreign front, thousands flee as DR Congo rebels seize control of Goma. We have details of all these stories and many more coming up in the bulletin. My name is Nana Amma Inyamike Baini. Now the news in detail. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the former Vice President of Ghana, is set to deliver a speech in Nigeria on democracy, governance, and political integrity. The occasion, which has attracted significant attention, underscores the importance of promoting democratic values and moral leadership in African governance. The speech is scheduled to take place daily from Monday, January 27 to Tuesday, January 28 at 10 a.m. Dr. Bawumia is also expected to compare Ghana's democratic advancement with Nigeria's current initiative, offering lessons that could prove beneficial to both nations. Now away from that, Education Minister Haruna Idrisu has announced that President John Dramani Mahama will inaugurate the much-anticipated Stakeholder Education Review Conference in mid-February 2025. The event will aim to provide actionable recommendations for improving the sector, achieving quality, and fostering the development of a competitive and high-quality human capital base for the nation. It is expected to bring together key stakeholders to deliberate on strategies that will drive progress and ensure sustainable growth in Ghana's educational system. Speaking at a news conference in Accra to mark the International Day of Education, the minister revealed that the conference will focus on assessing the current state of education while charting its future courses. Now to the next story. Disgruntled members of the National Democratic Congress in the Efitu constituency stormed their party office on Thursday, vandalizing equipment and furniture in protest over the exclusion of their parliamentary candidate, Dr. James Kofi Annan, from being nominated as the Central Regional Minister. The protesters, upset by what they viewed as a betrayal of their constituency's loyalty, damaged computers, chairs, and files, leaving the office in disarray. The incident followed mounting dissatisfaction among supporters who believed Annan's contributions to the party's effort in the constituency warranted recognition at the regional level. James Kofi Annan, a businessman and philanthropist, was the NDC's parliamentary candidate in the 2024 election. Despite losing the parliamentary race, his supporters credit him with energizing the party's base and strengthening grassroots efforts in Efitu. National executive of the party have condemned the actions, describing the destruction of party resources as unacceptable and counterproductive. They emphasize the need for members to address grievances through appropriate channels rather than resorting to violence. The incident highlighted growing frustrations among grassroots members of the National Democratic Congress nationwide who feel their MPs have been overlooked in President Mahama's ongoing appointment. With tensions running high, the NDC leadership is expected to address these concerns to restore calm and unity within the party. Meanwhile, NDC's parliamentary candidate James Kofi Annan had expressed his disgust at the act he spoke in an interview with the media.
The Futu constituency last Friday is unfortunate, and I condemn it in no uncertain terms. I received an intel on the dawn of the incident that some of the youth have planned to go and disrupt a constituency executive meeting that was being held in my office. So I called the deputy communications officer and told him about it and asked him to lock the offices and asked him to tell the chairman that the meeting should not be held in my office. Then later, I also received an intel that the youth were now going to hold a press conference. So I called the municipal officer for BNI, now NIB, to inform him about it and gave him the contact of the youth leader who I had heard was going to be the one to address the press. So I thought that I was done because I was not in the constituency. So unfortunately, later I heard that they had gone to attack the constituency executives, demanding that I should be given a position. I feel that it is an unnecessary, needless action. It's an unnecessary.
Well, staying on this story, I have Mr. Gilbert Ahimfo, a lecturer from the Political Science Department, live via Zoom to speak to us on this issue. Mr. Gilbert, if you can hear me, good afternoon. Hello, sir. Hello, sir. If you can hear me, please, good afternoon. Okay, so we lost Mr. Gilbert right here. He's from the Department of Political Science to elaborate more on the vandalism issue here at Winneba. Now, let's move on to our next story. On Sunday, January 26, 2025, the University of Education, Winneba, held its first interdenominational and Thanksgiving service for the first semester of the 2024-2025 academic year at the Jofos Anambra Mensa Conference Center, North Campus, themed Build the Broken Walls. The service featured Reverend Professor Samuel Ayite Nyampong from Trinity Theological Seminary, Legon, as the guest preacher. The service drew a significant crowd with approximately 3,000 students in attendance alongside esteemed dignitaries who came to grace the occasion. The guest speaker from Trinity Theological Seminary, Legon, Reverend Professor Ayite Nyampong, emphasized the importance of community and collaboration in overcoming challenges, drawing parallels between the biblical narrative of Nehemiah rebuilding Jerusalem's wall and the collective effort needed with the university. Let's take a view of that story.
Peace of the Lord be with you all. I'd like to thank the university management for inviting me and my wife to join you in celebrating God's goodness at this first interdenominational service of the year. I'm reading again the text from Nehemiah 2:17 to 18. And they said, "Let us rise and build." So they strengthened their hands for the good work. The theme is build the broken walls. Build the broken walls. A few weeks ago, the last night before we entered the year 2025, I was in church. Just about 5 minutes to entering 2025, we were asked to pray and then bring our needs before the Lord. And I could see people really screaming and shouting to the Lord to bless them in the year 2025. And after the prayer, as is normally done everywhere, people begin to envision themselves achieving those goals. So we boldly declare that this year, 2025, will be our great year of fulfillment. a year of double blessings, a year of acceleration, a year of double achievement. Sometimes people will also say it is a year of meeting the long-awaited partner. And we all have such high hopes for the year.
The Pro-Vice Chancellor of UEW, Professor Victor Enchi, addressed the congregation offering words of wisdom and motivation. He encouraged the students to read the student handbook, stay healthy, eat healthy, and exercise. He further urged the students to connect with friends and lecturers and finally serve God with all their heart and mind.
Students' handbook. Most of the times, when students falter and they come to us and you ask them, haven't you seen this in the students' handbook? They will tell you no. That means the handbooks that we have been giving to you, who have not been reading them, would like you to read them. Use it as your second Bible. Read them. Know all the things inside, so that in case you falter and we are giving you the necessary punishment, we didn't say anything bad against anybody. So I advise you, I entreat you to read the handbook. The next advice is that you have to stay healthy. Stay healthy. Eat very well. So stay healthy, eat good food, exercise, do exercise. Very soon, we'll invite all of you for medical checkup. It's compulsory, and I entreat everyone, especially the freshers, you have to do medical checkup. There are some of you having diseases that are hidden to you. And normally when you go there, and we find some of these diseases, we don't dismiss you. We make sure we give you the best treatment. So don't be afraid to go at all. Just be there, and then we'll help you. There are several students that we have helped in this way. So when it is time, don't run away. Be there. Once you are here, don't be afraid to connect. Connect to your lecturers. Connect to your mentors. Connect to your counselors, and they are ever ready to help you. Connect to your friends. Try to get somebody that you can easily connect with, somebody that you share the same ideas, and then move with such a person.
While speaking with Windy News, some students and lecturers shared their expectations and excitement after the church service.
I must say I wasn't expecting to feel this way because most of my colleagues didn't want to come, but I thank God I came because it was very spirit-filled and I enjoyed myself very much. I wasn't really in the mood to come because of most of my colleagues didn't want to, but it has exceeded my expectation because everything went well and I was glad to be here. Reverend was speaking about building broken walls, and it is something that we all have to take much concern about.
The preaching was that powerful to the extent that one key thing that I have taken is the mind being restructured so that it will help us, because when you look at the body, the mind is one central thing of the body. Actually, this kind of congregation or gathering gives us a platform to meet friends from other denominations, and it feels like heaven on earth because this is the only place that we all meet as one body. It was so happy and then lovely, if I may say.
It was awesome, an awesome time fellowshipping with the Lord, fellowshipping with students, and fellowshipping with everybody. We had a beautiful time with the Lord. I came expecting that the Lord will speak to me, and He has done it. I've been told that once I am determined, once I am proactive, I should be able to achieve something. That's all that we need as a nation, as individuals, as people, transforming our minds. Ghana is blessed, just as we heard from the sermon. It's a blessed country. It's just about
The mindset.
repositioning our mindset, our attitude towards work, our attitude towards time, attitude towards our own growth and our own development.
We go for a short breather. When we come back, it's business.
Hey there, welcome to Radio Unibe 98.3 FM. Seated right in front of you is Ampon Bismarck, so for short, Ampon B. Here we say we are the ultimate in campus radio. I entreat you all to be listening to Radio Unibe 98.3 FM. And your Radio Unibe, forget about it.
Hello, my name is Amina Abisbanan, a media personality at Radio Widibe 98.3 FM. Kindly follow us on all our social media handles. You can find us on YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Follow us on www.uew.edu.gh. We are the ultimate in campus radio.
Welcome back from that short breather. Now let's do some business. For the fourth time this year, the government reported a 47.5% oversubscription in the Treasury bills auction. In contrast to the objective of 6.0 billion Ghana cedi, the government received 8.855 billion Ghana cedi, according to the data from the Bank of Ghana. The government nonetheless accepted 8.163 billion Ghana cedis. A portion of the money will go towards financing obligations that are about to mature. Approximately 4.896 billion Ghana cedis, or 56.30% of all bids, came from the 91-day bill. To a story, the International Monetary Fund, IMF, has projected that Ghana's economic growth over the next 5 years will fall below its potential, according to an analysis by the for Economic Affairs. Despite strong and increasing growth in the third quarter of 2024, Ghana's overall growth for the year was estimated at just 4.0%. This suggests a significant slowdown in the fourth quarter, raising concerns about the country's economic trajectory. The IEA noted that while Ghana possesses ample resources and capacity to achieve higher growth rate, greater investment in physical capital, human capital, and technological is essential to drive sustained economic development. Such measures, the Institute argued, are crucial for accelerating national progress and elevating poverty. Now, staying on this particular issue, I have the acting head of department, School of Business, Mr. Samuel Gamali Gajo, by Zoom to speak to us more. Good afternoon, Mr. Samuel, if you can hear me. Hello, Mr. Samuel. Okay, so I've been told that due to network issue, we were trying to connect back to Mr. Samuel. When he come back, we will come on this particular story. But staying on business, the Directorate of Quality Assurance, University of Education, Winneba, organized a workshop for newly appointed faculty quality assurance officers on Friday, January 24, 2025. The workshop was aimed to equip new officers with the necessary skills and knowledge to excel in their roles. The program covered topics on roles and responsibilities of Faculty Quality Assurance Directorate officers, ensuring the implementation of university policies and standards for quality enhancement, and also challenges and opportunities in quality assurance, and provided a platform for the new officers to network and share best practices. When you spoke in an interview with the Director of Quality Assurance, Professor Robert Andrews, on how the new appointment will impact the Directorate's current projects and initiatives.
We asked the various gifts to dominate with one person for quality assurance. So in fact, the nomination was made by the respective deans of the faculty. You agree with me, this is the maiden workshop that we organized for them just to render their mandate. So it is expected that we have done that they intend expected to go back and receive from their department and from there to get to a unit as a the journey has just begun and we expect that we do well. That is our expectation. But we also do well to monitor their activity from time to time and guide them as well. It's emerged from the meeting that some of the old buildings were done without recourse to the idea of having to cater for people with physical challenges. So with this awareness, subsequent models will have to take care of that. And we also want to make sure that our lift that are not working, we work on them.
Now, some appointees also expressed how happy they were to be given such roles from the faculty and how they are willing to work for the success of quality assurance in the University of Education, Winneba.
Honored to be selected among a lot of members of faculty to represent my faculty, and having acted as a coordinator before exam officer, faculty exam officer, I think that I've had a lot of experience that makes me somebody that if I come on board as this, it's a privilege. Okay, so going forward, like we've been empowered today, we are going to do a lot of collaborations. We've been mandated to measure and evaluate, put a lot of things into place. So going forward, I think we are going to do more of collaborative things, digitize our way of evaluation from students and lecturers, and then coming together. The deputy director told us to do researches together and keeping standards, beginning with us as faculty quality exam officers. So collaboration is going to be key.
I think to ensure quality in terms of teaching and learning is the prime reason why I had to accept the nomination as faculty quality assurance officer, because I can't take it that you learn and teach in an environment which is not safe and conducive for that purpose. And so if my role as an officer ensures some of these things, I will do that. I am expected to do that because normally, even not as a quality assurance officer for my faculty, I sometimes go around for some of these issues, because that is what I believe, that to ensure that there is quality learning, then it should be done in a quality environment. I think that is the main motivation for me. I want to be known to have helped to have brought about quality standards when it comes to teaching and learning in this university. If that association is that to me, I think I've achieved it.
Up next, a sport after the short breather.
Segment here on Windy News. My name is Caesar Abraham. The Ghana Swim League Meet 3 took place at the Baltimore Sports Complex over the weekend as various clubs battled it out for honors. Abeku Jechi Jackson, 25 years of age, emerged as the best swimmer at the 49th SWAG Awards. Finished first in the men's 100 meters butterfly race. Emines Onyema has more.
The epic swim season, that is the Ghana Swim League Season 3, meet number 3 returns to the Aquatic Complex in Baltimore, where originally 15 clubs were expected to do the battle, but 13 actually did the battle with a record breaking of 450 swimmers making their way to the Aquatic Complex this past Saturday, January 2025. So many of the swimmers actually did their best. The flashlight was on Abeku Jackson, Ghana's two-time Olympian, who bagged the best swimmer for the 49th edition of the SWAG Awards this past weekend. He came with an impressive run in the men's 100-meter butterfly race, making a time of 57 seconds to beat his compatriot, if not his competitors, talking about the likes of Jonathan Focados of Legon Sharks in that regard in the men's 100-meter butterfly. He also took part in the men's, that is the freestyle relay, where he finished first ahead of Michael Crabman, Africa Aquatic Zone 2 swimmer, and then talking about the likes of Titus Ankara, Africa Games swimmer for Ghana as well. Overall, that is Kimbeli Odumoku, Ghana's youngest swimmer, 4 years of age, for GH Aquatic Masters, kick off the Meet 3 of the Ghana Swim League at the Aquatic Complex in Baltimore. So many flashpoints were made as a lot of fans, if not the supporters, their parents, and then talking about the clubs were heavily represented. So the big question is what is going to happen next, because come February 22nd, the Swim League will bounce back with meet number 4 as we speak, as far as the 2024-2025 season is concerned. Abeku Jackson, Ghana's two-time Olympian, spoke to Windy News, if not the Windy Sports, as it is. We'll bring you that in our subsequent bulletins right here on Windy News. And so many talking points in terms of the number of swimmers, male ratio against female, the number of clubs, and the growth as the Ghana Swim League continues to evolve in its third season as we zoom straight into February for meet number 4.
My goodness, some divers just witnessed. Look at it in the water. Abeku Jackson now taking up in the boys' butterfly race.
Now away from that story, the 49th edition of the annual Sports Writers Association of Ghana SWAG Awards, which was scheduled on Friday, 24th January 2025, saw the likes of Bright Kankam-Boadu win the Sports Journalist of the Year awards. My colleague Letitia Adams has more.
Radio Windy Bay brings you the latest from the 49th SWAG Awards held on Friday, January 24th, 2025. This year's award gala theme, Gold and Glory, a call for changing national orientation and involvement in sport, and outstanding achievers in the sport industry. Abeku Jackson took home the coveted Swimmer of the Year, while Bright Kankam-Boadu was named Sports Personality of the Year. Coach James received the prestigious SWAG President Award.
Facebook, YouTube, everywhere, any kind of support. I will entreat us as sports journalists to always do what is right and help push the sports agenda forward. And since I have Her Excellency, the Vice President here, there's a campaign I've always been waging. And luckily for me, I also have the Sports Minister designate. The amputee team won the African Cup of Nations, and up to date, their bonuses have not been paid. And I think that this is something that's very unfortunate. Please, I always say that the strength of any nation is determined by how they treat the vulnerable in society.
Stay tuned for more updates on this exciting event only on Radio Windy Bay.
And that's all for sports here on Windy News. My name is Caesar Abram. Up next is international news.
Welcome back from that short sports news. Now let's do some international stories. Rebels from the Rwanda-backed M23 have killed a military governor as they advanced through Eastern Democratic Republic of Congo, reports say. Fighting between the M23 and DR Congo's army has intensified since the start of the year, with the rebels seizing control of more territory than ever. More than 400,000 people have fled their homes since the start of this year as the M23 advances on the city of Goma, the UN report says. Rebels from the Congolese M23 movement say they have taken control of Goma. After several hours of gunfire on Sunday night, the streets were reported quiet. At the UN Security Council, the US, France, and the UK said Rwanda troops had supported the M23. Rwanda has previously consistently denied supporting M23. Now, still on the international arena, Polish President Andrzej Duda says gas flows from Russia to Western Europe should never be restored, even if a peace deal is reached between Russia and Ukraine. Speaking at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Duda emphasized that the Nord Stream gas pipeline, which have been remained unused since 2022, should be dismantled. The Polish president also asserted that economic sanctions against Russia are effective and urged European countries to resist pressure from businesses seeking to re-establish links with Russia market. Duda's comments highlight Poland's firm stance against any normalization of relations with Russia while the conflict persists. Now we take a recap of the stories that made headlines. Vice President Bawumia to speak on democracy, governance, and political integrity in Nigeria. President Mahama to launch Education Review Conference in February. University of Education Winneba holds interdenominational and Thanksgiving service. Quality Assurance Directorate UAW hosts workshop for newly appointed faculty officers. And in business, government T-bill auction record 47.5% oversubscription despite rising interest rate. On the foreign front, thousands flee as DR Congo rebels seize control of Goma. And that will be all for today's Windy News at 12. My name is Nana Amma Nyamike Bani. Thank you for joining us by Facebook and do enjoy the rest of your afternoon.